Speaking 1. Please listen carefully. If you could live abroad, where would you go? Explain why you would go there. Include details and examples to support your explanation. Speaking 2. Please listen carefully. If you could arrange your job so that you could do your work at home or at the office, which would you prefer? Include details and examples to support your explanation. Speaking 3. Please listen carefully. The education faculty at Metro University has extended the application deadline for the Bachelor of Education program. Read the announcement about the Bachelor of Education application extension from the education faculty. You will have 45 seconds to read the announcement. Begin reading now. Now listen to two students as they discuss the announcement. Script Speaking 3. Have you seen the notice that the application deadline for B.Ed has been extended?
Yes, and am I ever relieved. I really wanted to apply to the program, but I thought I missed the deadline.
Me too, and I have to finish preparing my application.
The extension gives me the time to get the registration fee together.
It's a good thing you reminded me. I better make sure I include a check.
Between end-of-term exams and extra hours at work, I would not have had time to write the application essay. Those essays are an important part of the entrance qualification.
I wonder if the new deadline will delay our acceptance letters.
Or our student loans, for that matter. But I don't think it will affect them because all the other registration dates are staying the same.
True. It did say that the applications would be evaluated until the course is full.
The extension is certainly fair, and in my case it is pretty helpful too. At least now I have a chance of applying and getting in for next semester.
The students expressed their opinions of the extended application deadline for the Bachelor of Education program. State their opinions and explain the reasons they give for holding those opinions. Speaking 4. Please listen carefully. Now read the passage about the liar paradox and liar sentence. You have 45 seconds to read the passage. Begin reading now. Now listen to part of a lecture on this topic in a philosophy class. Script Speaking 4.
Right, let's continue our philosophical discussion about the liar paradox. In 6 BC, a philosopher from Crete named Epimenides was completely and utterly unhappy with his fellow citizens and exclaimed, "All Cretans are liars." This was interesting to say the least because he was a Cretan. If Epimenides' statement is true, then he is a liar, which makes his statement false. What we're left with is a contradiction. Philosophers have never fully agreed on the way out of the trouble, despite 2,300 years of trying. The mystery is in the liar paradox. It is simply impossible to solve the liar paradox because it directly attacks our way of reasoning. Before we started to figure out if Epimenides' statement, "all Cretans are liars," is true or not, we could easily understand what he meant. We knew for sure that he was quite dissatisfied with the Cretans, didn't we? Now, after trying to figure out what it meant, the statement became meaningless. What happened to Epimenides' frustration? Can we say that it did not exist at all because his statement did not make sense? People tend to believe that finding a logical explanation of the world is the goal of learning philosophy. People tend to believe that they can decipher the world through reason and a series of logic. However, the liar paradox points out an important aspect in life. The more we think, the more we might lose grip on reality. Maybe it is time to look at the forest instead of the trees, sometimes taking time to learn how not to think too much.
The reading passage and the listening passage are about the liar paradox. Explain how the professor describes the complicated liar paradox. Speaking 5. Please listen carefully. Now listen to a conversation between two students.
I haven't seen you around for a while. What's new?
Not much. Oh, except I'm going on a blind date this Friday that my cousin set up.
Really? That sounds like fun. Have you ever been on a blind date before?
No, never. Have you? I'm a bit nervous.
As a matter of fact, I've been on a few. I met my latest boyfriend through a blind date. I think they are loads of fun.
Fun? Why? What did you guys do? Weren't you a bit nervous too?
We went to a movie. Thinking back, I may have been a bit nervous, but it was a good nervous energy, like going on a roller coaster at the fair. Look at it this way. You have nothing to lose. Just be yourself. There must have been some reason your cousin thought to set you up with this mystery person. Anyway, have you thought about what to wear?
We're going to a movie, and then we're meeting up with my cousin and his girlfriend for a late dinner. I was thinking of wearing my jeans and a jacket and tie. How does that sound?
I'd drop the tie. I don't think I've ever seen you wear a tie, so wearing one might make you feel even more self-conscious. I like the jacket and jeans combo. You are a semi-casual kind of guy. That's how I would describe you.
You're right. I would probably feel like that tie was a noose around my neck. Do you have any other advice?
Well, not really, except be yourself, and remember your date is probably just as nervous as you. So relax and try to have fun.
Thanks. I'll let you know how it went. The students discuss a problem that the male student has. What is the problem, and what are the female student's suggestions to solve the problem? And give your opinion about the female student's advice. Speaking 6. Please listen carefully. Now listen to part of a lecture in a geography class. Corn is a product that we tend to pay little or no attention to. It's just there. However, when you realize the realities of the corn crop, then it can be understood just how important it is to the American agriculture market. In fact, the annual corn crop is bigger than the combination of the country's wheat, rice, and other small grain crops. Corn is a hardy, prolific crop, and this is probably the reason why it is the basic crop. For example, a hectare of corn only needs 1/12 of the amount of seed that wheat does. Also, a hectare of corn produces several times the amount of a hectare of wheat. Thus, the potential for corn to be the largest crop in the U.S. can be easily recognized. Additional support for the cultivation of corn came by way of technology. Every step of corn production is assisted by some sort of machinery: planting, enriching the soil, cultivating, spraying, killing weeds, harvesting ears, removing the wrappings, shelling the kernels, and cutting the stalks. There is little physical labor involved in the whole process. A farmer can cultivate 140 hectares with virtually no additional labor. Interestingly, there has been data collected to demonstrate the yield increase over the years. The data shows that between 1866 and 1939, the corn yield averaged between 700 and 1,000 liters of shelled grain per hectare. In 1940, it began to steadily increase, and it reached 1,500 liters per hectare in 1948. It further increased to 3,400 liters in 1972. Realistically, it was probably improved technology and increased use of technology that accounts for some of this. It is hardly surprising, knowing the information, that 2 out of 3 farmers are involved in cultivating corn.
The professor explains how corn is important in the American agriculture. Summarize his explanation.